Jane Goodall has been doing her research for over 65 years in Gombe. We have 65 years worth of photography, video, soundscapes.
One of the biggest challenges was just parsing through all of that data to figure out what the right problem to solve at this moment is, and then figuring out how we can use the problem we're solving now to help them solve problems in the future.
In Gombe, the Jane Goodall Institute is continuing the research which Jane started 65 years ago around chimpanzees and their environments. One of Jane's superpowers is really this understanding of the importance of documenting things through multiple different forms of media. We're bringing in the analog recordings of handwriting. We're bringing in all the film and photography, soundscapes, and audio recordings of the area. The amount of data that we have on the lives of the chimpanzees is extraordinary.
Well, the big problem is that we have 65 years of data. This is the longest ongoing study on wild chimpanzees, our closest living relatives. We still have a lot to catch up in terms of data digitization, data management, and organizing it in a way that we can remove the barriers and truly empower scientists to ask questions.
The AWS Generative AI Innovation Center is an investment mechanism by AWS into its customers to help them accelerate their adoption of Gen AI across their organizations. The way that we tackle that is by looking for a specific problem that the customer is facing and using Gen AI to solve that.
JGI has had a variety of tech partners over the years. For example, a partnership with Oxford University's Visual Geometry Group. They developed some facial recognition models for chimpanzees specifically, which is incredible. We saw an opportunity to connect the mission that Jane Goodall Institute has with the research and the really cutting-edge technology that Oxford University had developed and put it on the cloud, deploy it in a scalable way so that they can continue to use it, not just in a small scale, but in a more meaningful way. So we're using Chimp UFE, which is a system developed at Oxford. They fine-tuned a YOLO-X detection model to create bounding boxes around all the chimp faces that they see. We're then linking the frames based on the unique faces in the scene. And finally, we are using a custom vision transformer to embed the largest frame for each track. And using that embedding model, we're able to start to label unique faces over time. As far as tagging goes, we're specifically using a multimodal large language model that is able to understand both text, audio, and video. So not just one image, but a collection of frames. We are feeding in a video to this model along with instructions in English saying, tell me if this behavior is going on or if one of these 5 fruits is in the image. It's providing the structured output that a computer can process at scale and allows you to query it in a meaningful way.
Researchers suddenly have the flexibility to really dig into these behaviors that before would have taken them months or years of research to really be able to comprehend at scale. So a researcher who wants to explore grooming behaviors could see something in a video that maybe pings an idea for a different thesis, and they can ask a question about that to get different results back.
To be able to have a facial recognition technology that allows us to say, we want to find this specific chimpanzee at this specific point in their lives, it's absolutely extraordinary to be able to do that.
The true breakthrough or amazing insight was when the AWS team was able to share with us some of the latest large language models applied to recognizing and translating some of this written text.
In Gombe, the handwritten notes are often taken in their local language, which is a version of Swahili. Not only is it a version of Swahili, but they'll often take these notes in shorthand. So we get these amazing documents of what the chimpanzees were doing that day, what these family groups were, where the conflict was. But it's written in a way that really only a very few people can decipher.
Processing video in general is a much harder task than processing images. Processing these handwritten B records in Swahili was a matter of an LLM call or two. There are field researchers in Gombe who are taking notes very meticulously every day. They take a picture of these field notes. In this case, they'll be uploading them to our platform. It then applies some pre-processing, it cleans up the image, increases the contrast, and it submits it to a large language model. These large language models happen to take advantage of excellent vision abilities, along with an understanding of Swahili, and also the ability to understand arbitrary instructions like, here are some terms unique to Gombe and what they mean. Putting all these powers together, it's able to extract the text, convert it into a CSV, and translate it into English so that it can be used to analyze behaviors at scale and provide a far greater insights than they otherwise would be able to.
That alone saves them hundreds of thousands of hours of manual human work.
At that point, we're just full of joy because it captures insights and details of behavior which are truly important for us to understand. For example, back in the late 90s, many volunteers painstakingly have been digitizing manually every record collected in Gombe. And that enabled the scientists to produce some really cutting-edge research. For example, that there is a correlation between the dominance rank in females and their reproductive success. Before that, it was not known. It thought that only males have a certain dominance ranking. The fact that the bigger the home range of the communities which the males are defending correlates also with the number and how fast actually the females achieve certain reproductive success as well. So all this data is captured there, which enables you to go back and ask questions or see the details which otherwise maybe you missed. It's really important to us to have the right infrastructure to not only apply these incredible technologies, but to localize them in the right culture and ethical context, and enabling us to just continue our work with the communities and enabling them to ask questions that they couldn't ask before.
Because the AI is so powerful, you want to be sure that you're not building a solution that's going to inadvertently expose something that's very important to keep protected. In the case of JGI, a lot of that is specific chimpanzee habitat information because there's still poaching, there's other environmental threats that the chimpanzees are at risk of if humans are aware of where they're located. We look at every solution that we build through the lens of responsible AI, through data privacy, through security.
Being able to set up certain principles and criteria how this information will be accessed and used was really important for us in selecting AWS as a major partner.
I'm excited for what we'll be able to do for conservation as a whole. This is a solution that is novel in the sense of all of the different data sources and the technology that's going into how we're building it, and it's novel in our approach. And I'm hopeful that that approach will be utilized by other conservation organizations.
Gombe, it's a basic long-term research site to understand chimpanzees and human evolution. However, the knowledge which we're developing is universal. It can be used to better understand conservation needs of chimpanzees, not just in Gombe, but elsewhere.
I would say that these tools allow us to ask deeper questions. And for a group of insatiably curious people, that's a gold mine.